So, what is RA 8749? The Republic Act No. 8749, otherwise known as the Philippine Clean Air Act, is a comprehensive air quality management policy and program which aims to achieve and maintain healthy air for all Filipinos. It contains 7 chapters and 56 sections. The act was approved on June 23, 1999. For the state principles, the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. The state shall promote and protect the global environment to attain sustainable development while recognizing the primary responsibility of local government units to deal with environmental problems. The state recognizes that the responsibility of cleaning the habitat and environment is primarily area-based. The state also recognizes that the principle that polluters must pay. The state recognizes that a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern. For the recognition of rights of citizens, the citizen has the right to breathe clean air, the right to utilize all natural resources according to the principles of sustainable development, the right to participate in the formulation, planning, implementation, and monitoring of environmental policies and programs and in the decision-making process. The right to participate in the decision-making process concerning development policies, plans and programs, projects, or activities that may have adverse impact on the environment and public health. The right to be informed of the nature and extent of the potential hazard of any activity, undertaking, or project and to be served timely notice of any significant rise in the level of pollution and the accidental or deliberate release into the atmosphere of harmful or hazardous substances. The citizen also has the right to access to public records which a citizen may need to exercise his or her rights effectively under this Act. The right to bring action in court or quasi-judicial bodies to enjoin all activities in violation of environmental laws and regulations to compel rehabilitation and clean up of affected area, and to seek the imposition of penal sanctions against violators of environmental laws. They also have the right to bring action in court for compensation of personal damages resulting from the adverse environmental and public health impact of a project or activity. The Clean Air Act provides that the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature, promote and protect the global environment while recognizing the primary responsibility of local government units to deal with the environmental problems, recognize that the responsibility of cleaning the habitat and environment is primarily area-based, recognize that polluters must pay, recognize that a clean and healthy environment is for the good of all and should therefore be the concern of all. For the designation of airsheds, the Secretary of DENR, upon recommendation of the Environmental Management Bureau, or EMB, will divide the country into different airsheds. Airsheds are to be designated based on climate, weather, meteorology, and topology, which affect the mixture and diffusion of pollutants in the air, share common interests, or face similar development problems. In management of airsheds are to be managed by multi-sectoral governing boards chaired by the Secretary of the DENR with representatives from the local governments concerned, which are province, city, or municipality, the private sector, people's organizations, NGOs, and concerned government agencies.
Function of governing boards: formulate policies and standards subject to national laws, prepare a common action plan, coordinate its members, and lastly, submit and publish an annual air quality status report for their airshed. What are covered by the Clean Air Act? All potential sources of air pollution must comply with the provisions of the law. All emissions must be within the air quality standards. So there are three covered by the Clean Air Act. First is mobile sources refer to vehicle like cars, trucks, buses, jeepneys, tricycle, motorcycles, and vans. The second, point sources refer to stationary sources such as institutional firms and smoke trucks of power plants, hotel, and other establishments. And lastly, Area sources refer to sources of emission other than the above. These include smoking, burning of garbage, and thus from construction, unprepared, unproved grounds, etc. What are the compliance mandates for mobile sources of air pollution? Exhaust emission standards for various mobile sources that are either in use, new, rebuilt, and imported second-hand have been set. All new motor vehicles classified under the Philippine National Standards of 1891 of Bureau of Product Standards of Department of Trade and Industry. In-use motor vehicles will only be allowed renewal of their registration upon proof of compliance with emission standards through actual testing by the Motor Vehicle Inspection System of the LTO and authorized private emission testing centers. What will be done to smoke belching vehicles on the road? Smoke belching vehicles on the road shall be subjected to emission testing by properly equipped enforcement teams from the DOTC or LTO or its duty deputized agents. Violators will be subjected to the following fines or penalties. First offense, 1,000 pesos. Second offense, 3,000 pesos. And third offense, 5,000 pesos plus seminar on pollution management. Fuels. Clean fuels are needed to achieve clean air. The CAA thus provides. First, the complete phase-out of leaded gasoline before the end of the year 2000. 2. The lowering of the sulfur content of industrial and automotive diesel, respectively from 0.5% to 0.3% and from 0.2 to 0.5. 3. The lowering of aromatics in unleaded gasoline from 45% maximum to 35% maximum, and the lowering of benzene in unleaded gasoline from 4% maximum to 2% maximum. And lastly, 4. Further improvements on the fuel quality, excluding cleaner alternative fuels, will be spearheaded by the Department of Energy.
I'm here to talk about what will be done to address polluting industries and how you can help clean the air. First, let's talk about the polluting industries. Under the Clean Air Act of 1999, there are consequences for stationary sources that violate air quality standards. A fine of up to 100,000 pesos per day of violation can be charged until the standards are met. For gross violations, the penalty is imprisonment for 6 to 10 years at the discretion of the court, and the Pollution Adjudication Board may issue a cease and desist order to close the company. Gross violations include 3 or more specific offenses within a year, 3 or more offenses within the 3 consecutive years, or blatant disregard of PAB orders such as operating despite an order for closure. The PAB may also close a company if there is irreparable or grave damage to the environment as a result of violation or omission of the act of its implementing rules and regulations. Now let's move on to smoking. As you know, smoking has been banned in public buildings and closed public places, including public vehicles and any enclosed area outside of a private residence or work of place since May 25, 2001. Local government units are responsible for enforcing this ban, and the penalty for violating it is 6 months to 1 year imprisonment or a fine of 10,000 pesos. So, what can you do to help clean the air? Here are a few suggestions. For vehicle owners or motorists, maintain your vehicle by changing oil regularly. Keep the engine well tuned, following the owner's manual. Keep tires properly inflated. Plan trips and observe proper driving habits. Remove unnecessary things from the trunk. Don't overload and travel only at the speed required by traffic regulations and road conditions. For commuters, talk to your jeep, bus, or tricycle driver about the health risk of poor vehicle maintenance and improper driving practices. Lastly, use mass railway transit when possible. Now, at home, use low watt bulbs or energy saving lights. Limit the use of air conditioning units and keep the temperature a few degrees higher. Don't burn garbage. Avoid using aerosols. Properly dispose of refrigeration equipment, and use coolant. Now for everyone. Report smoke belchers to the Land Transportation Office, Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or appropriate local government units. Walk or ride your bike to places whenever possible. Work with your residential association to stop burning of garbage. Spread the word about the ban on smoking in public places. Plant trees to help clean the air. Thank you for listening. Remember, we all have a role to play in protecting the air we breathe and preserving the environment for future generations.